John Mize here. So now I want to talk about congruence. So when you're doing upsells, a couple of things. So one of the most important things is that the offer itself needs to be congruent with whatever they just purchased. But an important distinction here is that it can't be something that's just more of the same. The reason is that if it's just more of the same, then it makes them feel like, so when they make that first purchase for $100, they feel like they're getting everything they need to do whatever you promised. And they should. I mean, if you have 7 bullet points and you're promising to do those 7 bullet points, the product that they purchase should do all 7 of those bullet points, or it shouldn't promise them. But if the next upsell says, okay, if you really want to do what you just bought, then you really need these other 7 additional points, even though those are advanced components, that language will make them feel like, oh, I thought I was getting everything I needed for $100, but now you're telling me you really only sold me half. Okay. So we want to make it, we don't want the language that we use to make them feel as though what they just bought was incomplete. Okay? So the second item, we need to give them a reason that they would add something else on. Okay. So for example, this particular class is an upsells class, and I sold this as an advanced upsells class. Okay, so I make it clear I'm not teaching the basics in this class. And so if I were to use this as an upsell to say a course creation class, then I would make sure that the course creation class said, I'm going to teach you how to create a course. 7 bullet points, a course. Then the upsell would say, hey, now that you're going to create a course, would you like to learn how to create 4 upsells on the back end? So I'm differentiating the next item from the first item so it can add to it, but it can't just be more of the same. I want to give you some real world examples of this because I think sometimes that seeing it is helpful. And because I have this queued up to also show you what's called a bump, I'll define the difference between a bump and an upsell here. An upsell is when they've already purchased it, they've already put their card in for $100, and you say, would you like to add something? So this is an upsell, okay? We'll go through the example. So this upsell would have been somebody had just purchased the newsletter operating system, okay? So remember I just told you I wouldn't sell them newsletter operating system 2.0. Okay. I wouldn't be like, oh, you bought a great training program, but it's missing blah, 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 blah. Okay. What I say is, you just bought my newsletter operating system. For best results, pair what you just bought, which is a great training, with my course creation program. So when you have a newsletter, you should also have a course. And then I'm giving them a reason for putting them together. Okay. These are just bullet points. I'm not going to spend time on those because this is the key right here, is making them feel like, A, this does not improve what they just bought. It adds to it. Okay. And it adds to it with a different topic. So now I say, if you want to absolutely explode your newsletter sales, upgrade your order, and it adds it on for $79. Okay. This is a great example of making the upsell congruent with whatever the item just was. Okay. Now, another advanced tactic. I reuse my upsells. Okay. What that means is if I reuse this upsell and I'm going to reuse it over and over again. So let's say I create this a new upsell. I don't know if it's going to do well at first. If it does well, and if I want to keep reusing it, I will probably genericize it. And I will change this to say, pair your new course, okay? Or I will say, congratulations, you have just bought an amazing training program, but I won't name it. For best results, add on my popular super fast course creation, okay? So the reason I'm talking about this is because I just gave you an example of something that was very, it was product specific. But if I'm going to use this in multiple campaigns and I want to have the flexibility of just creating it on the fly, which I do. Okay. I have like 10 different standing upsell campaigns, and I just pick one for each item that I create. Takes me 10 seconds because it's already created. I just say, use this upsell funnel. Okay. I don't want 1,000 of them. I don't want a new funnel every single week when I do a virtual class. So I genericize this. Okay. But when you're first starting out, you might as well, you will get higher conversion rates if it's specific. Okay. So I'm sacrificing conversion rates so that I can have the generic, and it's worth it to me to do that. All right. But when you're first starting out and you only have one product, you might as well maximize conversion. So this is an example of a very congruent upsell that does well. Okay. So talking about bumps. So a bump is on the actual order before they purchase. If it says add this to your order in some way, they check the box. Okay. So in real life, what this work looks like is, so this is a sales page. This is actually the Faceless Business sales page. Okay. This is the sales page before they purchase. So they come down here and says, put your name and email address in and put your card number in. But so they put their card number in first. The bump, though, before they can hit the button, they're going to get these 4 offers. So they put their name, email address, and they put their card number in. Or if they're a member of Link, I get like 50% of my sales through Link. They don't even have to put their card in. They just click the Link button. Then they go, oh, wow, add this to your order. Okay, now notice I am making this very specifically congruent with this offer. If I don't, it won't convert as much. Okay, this will convert much better if I have the checkbox. If I specifically say, add this to your order. Okay. And then of course, they check the add to the order button. And when they check it, this goes from $29 order to $126 order. Okay. And then the same thing. Now, for this example, I was running a test to see if I would make more sales on the bumps if I had 4 bumps instead of 2. I usually run 2. Okay. I didn't make more sales on the front end, but I did make more sales on the back end in upsells. Now, I don't know because it's only one time. I can't tell you that this is why. It could have just been that the upsell campaign was a good campaign for this item. The theory, though, would be that if people have seen all this stuff already and said no, these are probably basically the same items that are in the upsell campaign. So when they get to it, they have a second chance. Okay. So the theory would be that that's probably what happened. I don't have proof of it, but I'm just being transparent with you that, hey, I've been in business for 18 years and I still try new things. And you're seeing the new thing. I like it. I'll probably continue to do it. But full disclosure, it didn't really increase sales on the front end, but this was a very healthy campaign. So that's what a bump is. So let's come back in here. Okay. And obviously this was just going to be the example of, the language. So this was a faceless video program. So I said, add this to have a full newsletter program, right? Or add this to have an entire email campaign. Okay? So it's all about adding to make your experience a better experience. That's what all of this is about. And the punchline here is congruence. It has to be congruent. Now, before I wrap this particular training up, I want you to understand that this is an art as much or more than it is a science. I've done these for years. I've done hundreds of these. And yet, if I created a brand new one today, I would not know exactly what would work. I might try something. I'll watch the stats for 24 hours. If I'm happy, I keep it. If I'm not, I'll move it around. The reason I'm saying this is that if this is your first one or your 5th one, and you go out there, you don't need to get it right. You don't need to get it perfect. You don't need to stress out. There's no one right way to do it. I could come in tomorrow and come up with something new, and it would be like, wow, this is a better way. You might go out there tomorrow and make an offer that is like a brand new, better way. And 6 months from now, you'll be teaching me the brand new, better way. So I want to be really clear with you that I'm not giving you A through G. This is the only way. It's the right way. It's the perfect way. Get this all as a concept and then just go out there and do them. See what happens, see what you like, see what works well, and then grow on it. And your business will grow, and this will do something amazing for your bottom line.